Hello, fantasy baseball fanatics. How you doing? Welcome to the Fantasy MD's Baseball Podcast. Today is Monday, May 23rd, 2022. This is our 24th episode. I'm your host, Dominic Martino, here with my co-host, as always, my brother, Matthew Ane. Matt, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great, man. You know, life is treating me real great. How you doing, babyface?
I'm doing good. Everybody may not recognize me over here, chopping the beard off and going with the short hair, but it's getting hot down here in New York, man. You know that 90-degree weather isn't cutting it with the big beard anymore. So I had to go baby face on him.
Man, you look
Yeah,
15.
I know, right? I do. Only if I could, have the body of a 15-year-old again. You know what? The aches and pains these days, man. It ain't cutting it.
Yeah.
But we'll get it going here with the finger on the pulse as always. We're gonna talk about first. We'll talk about Nolan Gorman getting the call here. We got another prospect up next, so a little prospect notes here. But with Nolan Gorman of the St. Louis Cardinals here getting the call, gonna play second base for them, but only eligible on most platforms at third base right now until he gets enough games played there to get second base. But right now he's up to 63% owned on Yahoo, so I know we're a little late on that one. But if he's still out there in your leagues, I'm going to say go out there and get him. He was a very, very high-end prospect, hitting over 300 in the minors, leading the league at the time with 15 bombs, bunch of RBIs in there. I think about 3 steals. And so far, since he's got called up, he's 5 for 10. With 4 runs and an RBI. He's been hitting second in that lineup with Goldschmidt and Arenado behind him. He's going to get a bunch of runs, so he's going to drive in a bunch. And I think kid's going to be absolutely great for fantasy purposes.
Yeah, I think if you scooped him up, you got a nice little steal there if you had your eye on him. To be honest, I didn't even realize how good he was doing until he got the call, and I'm like, damn. And I don't feel too bad, unlike somebody else I know that got sniped out as they're pressing ad. So
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before. I kind of beat somebody out in one of our leagues on him by literally seconds, and I got a couple angry text messages on that one. But hey, what are you getting into?
it's incredible. I'll post that on Instagram because I got screenshots.
That was too funny, guys. Yeah, so that, just to let you know, that was the rush to grab Nolan Gorman, and that's how good this kid is gonna be. Well, according to us anyway.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're going to transition here to the other prospect getting the call. Number one prospect in all of baseball, Adley Rutschman, a catcher for the Baltimore Orioles. And man, the kid is on a different level. He was the reason why he's the number one prospect. I'll give you his numbers here so far in the minors. He was hitting 309 with 3 bombs, 9 RBIs, 21 hits, 12 runs, 11 walks to 7 strikeouts. So a bunch of more walks than strikeouts there. And he's just going to be a staple in the fantasy community, I think, for the next 10, 15 years, hopefully. Hopefully he takes Baltimore to that next level. So far, he's 2 for 8. One of those hits was a triple, though. He's got a run in there. I'm watching the Yankee game right now tonight on Monday night, and I think Garrett Cole struck him out. But hey, that's some Garrett Cole. But I think this kid, if you don't have like Varsho or Tyler Stevenson or one of these, Will Smith, one of these high-end catchers, you go out there and you add Adley, and you be very, very happy you got him.
Yeah, and you know what? The upside for this kid could be like back in the day, Buster Posey, somebody that you can be all reliable in the catcher position, somebody you could draft number 1 overall in terms of catcher, not overall. I mean, who knows? The sky's the limit, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's great, and you know what? The kid's gonna play a lot. Baltimore plays in Baltimore, so it's even better. So, hey, let's see what happens. But I think if you got him, go for him. Did we say how much what his percentage is?
77% owned on Yahoo. So he is,
Wow.
he is getting up there. I didn't even realize that the rush to get him was just as, if not even more than Nolan Gorman. I know a lot of people probably already even had him stashed in redraft. That's how high, people are thinking of him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, shoot, I've been in 3 leagues where somebody drafted him probably with their last couple of picks, and I'm like, ooh, that's a good move because they only had to wait a month.
Yeah, you know what? It looks like it's certainly working out for everyone who had enough faith to go out there and invest in them. So we're gonna keep going on to the news and notes here, and we're gonna start off with one of my guys. Sadly, got hurt. That's Freddie Peralta. He's headed to the IL. I believe it's a shoulder strain, and you never want to hear that. So he's sure he's gonna get some tests done, and we're gonna see some news and notes here over the next few days. So just keep an eye on that. I know he just did go on the IL maybe about an hour ago in most leagues. So if you're just hearing this, maybe Tuesday morning, make sure you get him on your IL, go out there and try and get yourself a pickup. We are going to do our infamous waiver wire segment after this. So just stay tuned, and we're gonna hit you with a bunch of names that might be out there in your league. So next news this here is Jazz Chisholm is day to day with the hamstring injury. You never want to hear that, especially for a guy who started off as hot as he did, and he's been running too, so you don't want to hear that. Matt, any thoughts there? I know that's somebody that you like as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? This is where people could start knocking on him, unfortunately, because this was part of his problem last year. The guy just had soft tissue issues, I guess it seems. I hope that's not the case. Maybe it's just a one-off. It is getting hotter. He does play in Miami, even though it's a dome. You know what? You got to drink a lot more water as it gets hotter, and it's humid as hell there. So who knows? Maybe I'm making excuses, but this is something that, like, hey, if he goes down with one more hamstring injury throughout the next couple of months after coming back from this, I'm gonna say, hey, dump him for as much as you can.
Yeah. I'm gonna, as the Jazz Chisholm owner here, and I have him in a few of my leagues, I'm gonna say it definitely makes me pretty nervous here that he's going down with another soft tissue injury here, like he did last year. Especially since he's a guy who likes to run and perform at a high level. So just guys, we'll keep you updated here. Maybe he gets back in on Tuesday. The Marlins have off today on Monday, so we'll check that lineup for you. We got Andrew Kittredge headed to the IL with a sore back for the Tampa Bay Rays here. We have we're going to talk closers later on, maybe a little replacement here for him, but I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. Could be a minimum stay here for him, but we'll see. Wilson Contreras is day to day with a hamstring injury. Once again, that soft tissue stuff is not something you like to hear. Catchers is really tough right now. Maybe a MJ Melendez is out there for you, or somebody like that. JD Martinez is day to day with back spasms. I think that's just going to be maybe a minimum one there for JD. He's actually been starting off the year pretty good here. Lance McCullers has just started throwing off a mound. There's not really a specific timetable here for him, but probably going to say maybe around the All-Star break, or something like that. Mike Clevinger to the IL with a right tricep strain. You never like to see that from a guy coming off of an injury, and it just kind of stinks there. Mike Clevenger's a pitcher I really love, and I think when he gets healthy, he'll get back to normal, but I don't know if it's going to be this year.
I mean, with guys like that, their phalanges are just built in to just be horrendous.
The
phalanges, man. You got the case of the Alberto Monteses, except he's been just doing it longer. It's a curious.
I like that one. He's got a case of the Alberto Monteses.
I mean, do they get do they have insurance policies for every time they get hurt? Do they get like an incentive higher than their bonus for actually playing? Because the only that makes sense.
I think for Mondesi and maybe Buxton worked that one into his contract somewhere, but I don't know about Clev, man. I really do. I really hope the best for him though, because you know what? When he's right, he is one of the I'd say top 20, 30 pitchers in baseball. Next thing we got going on here though is another guy, actually someone who's been on fire. Taylor Ward is going to get an MRI on his neck shoulder area. He crashed into the wall making a play the other day against the Athletics on Friday, and I mean these young guns that like to get out there and do everything they can, they run into walls like Bryce Harper used to do, and this is what happens. I mean, you gotta learn when to let that ball fall for a double, and because they need you bad out there every day. Taylor Ward, that Angels team, just really relying a lot on Ohtani and Trout these days. He was really, I think, going to take them to that next level. So if he misses a significant amount of time here, not gonna like to see that one.
Nope. And just look what it did to Eloy. Look what it did to Luis
exactly. Eloy, I mean, damn, it's just a shame. I would like to see these kids say, hey, let one go, and and then you could just be out there every day, and you could be there with the bat where you need them. But
yeah, there's playing smarter and playing hard, and then playing stupid hard. Like, I think somebody needs to sit down and have a conversation with Bryce Harper and watch the instant replay, him running the first base and blowing
Maybe,
his
maybe,
ACL.
maybe Bryce Harper needs to like start like a class for like these types of like young kids and say, hey, it didn't work out for me when I was young, so you guys need to slow your roll a little bit too at running into these walls.
Amen.
Yeah, so next we got to talk about a New York Yankee here. Our boy Aroldis Chapman is going to be out with Achilles injury here for a while. I'm pretty sure he's hitting the IL. We actually going to talk about his possible replacement coming up in the waiver wire segment, so stay tuned for that one. Steven Strasburg is going to start a rehab assignment Tuesday. I would say if he's not owned in your league, probably go out there and invest in him if you do have the IL space. I'm not going to say he's going to be great, but it's a name, and pitching is starting to get thinner and thinner by the day. Steven Matz is headed to the IL with shoulder stiffness. I will say this. I think I did see that Libator is going to get called back up to take his spot again. He did get shelled in his first outing against the Pirates. I don't know who he might get there in that second outing. Let me see. I might be able to pull that up. Bear with me a second there, folks. No, that's not how you spell that.
I think.
Matt, any thoughts on the young kid from the young pitcher there from the Cardinals? Libator.
Oh, Libator. I mean, to be completely honest, he's okay. I mean, I'm not really like I got his numbers.
Okay, yeah, I got it here. Yeah, I think it's going to be Milwaukee. I think if he does, yeah, they did recall him from AAA again. He's going to get Milwaukee, which is another really good team. Well, the first team wasn't a really good team, was Pittsburgh, and he got shelled against them. But he gets Milwaukee this week. I think that's a deeper league ad. I mean, I would just kind of maybe throw him on the watch list for now and see how things go. See how the Steven Matz injury works out. If it's a long-term thing and if the kid starts showing out, then he's an ad. But right now, I mean, if he didn't do anything against Pittsburgh, I wouldn't pick him up against, that Milwaukee team who's even way better than Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't even see how he even maintains playing past this, because if Lodolo decides to come back, he's instantly going to be sent down and swapped. I just didn't have time on him either. So
Lodolo's on the Reds. Yeah, different team. You're good.
I saw Red Hat.
No, you're good. Yeah, I do that. I do the same thing. You're good, my brother. We'll keep it going here though for news and notes. We got Clayton Kershaw. This is just bad news on him. He's not going to throw that bullpen for at least 2 weeks. So I mean, just keep your eyes peeled. Maybe the Dodgers call that kid Ryan Pepio back up. He was okay.
He's got a pep in his step.
Yeah, maybe he's got a pep in his step here for us. Justin Upton, a name we're all familiar with, signs with the Seattle Mariners. He's not an ad by any means, but just keep an eye on him for deeper leagues if you need a little power in your lineup. Dylan Carlson is day to day with tight left hamstring. That's why I believe Nolan Gorman and Juan Yepez are going to be playing a lot over the next coming weeks. So if either one of them are out there in your leagues, I'd say they're definite ads. Tarek Skubal of the Detroit Tigers was removed after taking a liner off his leg. He's expected to make his next start, but I would keep an eye on that. That's going to leave a nasty bruise, and he's got I don't know if it's his landing leg or his back leg. So either way, it's not going to be great. You got to keep an eye on that one. Eduardo Rodriguez from the Detroit Tigers as well. He's headed to the IL with a rib cage sprain. That one doesn't sound good. I'm not sure what the Tigers are going to do here, man. They're down a lot of starting pitchers at this point, and they're going to have to dig deep into their prospect pool at this point. I just feel bad for that team. I really had a feeling they were going to be good this year, but with all the injuries, piling up on them, it's just no fun for Detroit Tigers fans. My heart goes out to them at the moment.
Yeah.
Joey Gallo of the New York Yankees headed to the COVID IL along with Josh Donaldson as well. Just adjust accordingly with that one. Frankie Montas was hit on the hand with a comebacker. That does not sound good. They're unsure whether he's going to hit the IL or not. But if you ask me, that definitely sounds like an IL stint if I ever heard about one. A starting pitcher taking the comebacker off the hand. Yeah, that's at least one turn in my book. Last little news and note we got here is, the old man, I think Father Time is starting to, get to him. It's Nelson Cruz. He's day to day with that sprained left ankle. He's just had, a pretty bad year here. So I think it's about time, in a shallower leagues, he might be a cut. Deeper leagues, I guess, if you want to hold and see what happens here, be my guest. But at this point, I'm not really, expecting much out of Nelson Cruz anymore. Matt, before we move on, any thoughts on Nelson Cruz?
No, I think he's just a flat out drop. I don't even know. I mean, even in deeper leagues, I mean, you probably could find somebody better out there at this point. It's just
Yeah, it's it's
he's
it's tough, and especially if he's utility only in your league, it's just, yeah, he's 71% owned on Yahoo, guys. You could probably find a better option at this point. I'm going to be honest with you.
and if he's gonna keep getting dinged up and you can't play him anywhere else, like what's the point? He's just gonna burn a bench because you don't even want to play him.
Yeah, he's only hitting 204. He's got 4 home runs, 21 RBI, 17 runs. It's just, I mean, he's not the Nelson Cruz that we all know and love at this point. So I would say, like Matt said, move on at this point, especially if you could find anything that's worthy. And I think we're gonna throw a bunch of names at you right here that are probably better than Nelson Cruz. So, leading with that, here we're going to start the, big waiver wire segment for this week. Let's start it off with, let's go with another old man who's actually showing us a little something here, and that's Joey Votto, first baseman of the Cincinnati Reds. I will say this. I know personally I've been playing fantasy a long time, and Joey Votto is a notoriously slow starter. He's just coming back off the IL, 4 games played. Including today. He had a hit in the first 3 of them. Yesterday, he hit a home run. Today, he's 0 for 1 so far, but, there's still time left in the game. He might get another hit in there. I'd say this. I know last year at some point, maybe towards the middle of the year, he picked it up and he finished the year last year with 30-plus bombs, good batting average, good RBIs. Cincinnati's a good park to hit in. I would say, in deeper leagues right now, you could cut Nelson Cruz and you could pick up Joey Votto. That's definitely an easy add. Joey Votto's 46% owned on Yahoo. I would say this, just definitely go out there and get him in those deeper leagues where, you got a bat at the end of your bench that really isn't doing anything. And there's big potential here because he did it last year. So, it's really my thoughts on Votto.
Yeah, I think he's a fair ad and a great point on adding him for Cruz. I mean, hey, what's the worst that happens? You drop him too after he starts sucking. But I think that if you look at his numbers at the end of the year and also just his total year, it actually isn't bad. He did hit 36 bombs. He did finish with a
Yeah.
266 batting average, and he had a decent amount of ribbies and runs. And that honestly was, Dom's got to fact check me, which if you can while I'm finishing
Yeah,
this,
go ahead.
his home is splits from beginning of the season to the end of the season probably was most of that production was probably after the All-Star break. So
Yeah, that's what I was just literally saying that myself. 100% accurate.
so
Yes, it was.
if you're getting even like 70% of that production, that's going to wing you most likely going into the playoffs, at least get you far, if not help you win in total. So
Yeah, I would definitely say he's an interesting ad. I'm not definitely doing it with I'm not doing it in shallower leagues right now until he shows me something. But hey, if you got Nelson Cruz or something like that, definitely cut him and go on. We'll move on here to our next guy. Let's talk about Jerkerson Profar. And he's a name that you probably heard. He's getting a little bit older here. He was a very high-end prospect back in the day. He's doing okay so far. He's been picking it up over the past, couple weeks. He's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game hitting streak, and he's on a 3 game multi-hitting streak, which May 20th, 3 for 5, May 21st, 2 for 3, and May 22nd, 2 for 6. He's got a couple of steals there too. He's looking pretty good there. First, second outfield eligibility. On the year, numbers really aren't too great. On the year, he's got 22 runs, 5 bombs, 19 RBIs, 4 steals, hitting 222. But he's 49% owned, man. He's out there. He's definitely out there in leagues. I would say you could totally do worse. He's hitting third today. I don't know if that's a trend. Yeah, he's been hitting third and fourth recently. I definitely say if you need somebody with multi eligibility, you can definitely go out there and snag yourself Jerkerson Profar.
yeah, I mean it's a fair point. Let's see what the kid can do. I mean, last year he did make a little bit of a splash. He got 10 steals and at 353 at bats. So I mean, there's that steal upside. He's hitting for good average right now, so you kind of want to roll. And hey, at worst case scenario, you're getting a boost at steals, and he's as the 3 position out eligibility. You're chilling. But let's move on here, and let's go after. Damn, I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. Mike Yas. I can't say
Mike
it.
Yastrzemski.
No, you're good.
Mike Yastrzemski.
That's what we bring Dom here for.
Yeah.
He pronounces because I have a third grade reading level. But the kid's killing it. Like last week, he just he had one hell of a week. He had 6 runs, 1 bomb, 5 ribbies, batting .474, and even on the year, it's not bad. He's got 17, 3, 13, batting .300. I'm pretty happy about that. He's 39% owned, outfield eligibility. I mean, it sucks that half his games are going to be in San Francisco, but I mean, shoot, he's getting the job done already. You might as well just scoop him up. He's doing probably better than I don't know, Nelson Cruz. So there's one. You know,
I guess we're becoming the Bash the Nelson Cruz podcast.
I mean, yeah. I mean, shoot. I mean, why not? I mean, he's a nice couple of days stint for JD Martinez, who's hurt. You know, like we just named like 5 guys that are hurt.
No, I'm just messing around. But you know what, guys? Yaz is a great ad. He is I believe he's the grandson of Carl Yastrzemski, Red Sox great.
Well, how many Yastrzemski-Minskys, Walensky's do you actually know, man? I mean,
they I at least know these 2. I'll say that. But you know, Mike Yaz actually had a great 2020. If people remember, you know, he had 297. He had 10 bombs, 35 RBIs, 2 steals, and 54 games there for the Giants. So, you know, he showed out there, and people were expecting a lot, but in 2021, he really didn't show up, you know. But this year he's saying, hey, you know what, I'm back. Remember me, and man, he's hitting 300. He's looking really good so far this year. Let me see if I can get that ownership percentage for you guys, because I know when I looked earlier, he was pretty lightly owned. Yeah, 39% owned. So I would say, you know, you need an outfielder. You go out there and you snag him. He's been another guy hitting 3rd in the lineup tonight. He's been hitting 3rd over the last few games. So, you know, he's gonna. I bet you those RBIs go up there. You know, Giants are a pretty good team. So, you know, we got a couple of good options there for you this week. Our last hitter there for the waiver wire is going to be Anthony Santander of the Baltimore Orioles.
You mean
the Orioles have been? No, not the bang. Nah. Well, yeah. I guess they do sound the same, right?
Yeah, I think he's been hitting his ATM withdrawals. Sorry to be corny, but he's killing it this week.
Oh yeah, take the lead, my brother. Go ahead, throw us some stats.
Yeah, so I mean, he had 6. He had 6 runs last week, 3 bombs, 7 ribbies, batting .267. I'm gonna take that. I mean, the total year numbers aren't bad either. 19 runs, 7 bombs, 21 ribbies.
The bombs are nice.
Yeah, and the batting .233 is where I'm kind of like meh. But I mean, hey, whatever. Right now, you kind of got to ride the wave with him at least. And I mean, worst case scenario, you drop him. But I think right now he's at least worth an ad.
Yeah, right now I'd say out of all the guys we talked about, he's probably, you know, the bottom of the totem pole. You know, he's 25% owned on Yahoo, so, you know, kind of accordingly there. On May 19th, though, went 3 for 4. You know, had a bomb, 3 runs, 3 RBIs. On May 16th, he had 2 home runs. He's on a 4-game hitting streak. He didn't play tonight. You know, I guess that's just a regular day off because he looks like he's played every day for, you know, like almost the past month. And he's been hitting 3rd or 4th. So once again, we just threw about 4 guys at you that are hitting in the middle of their lineups, all, you know, fairly not highly owned on Yahoo. So these are all guys you can go out there and add if you got somebody at the end of your bench that's underperforming. I know hitting has started to turn around a little bit for most teams, but I know there's still some teams out there that can use these guys that we just mentioned. So moving forward here, Matt, is there anyone specific you'd like to talk about as far as the starting pitching guys go?
Yeah, let's hit the one I really feel uncomfortable about talking about because I just traded him away.
Are we gonna go there? We're gonna go there.
Yeah, I'll take my pound in early. And that's Mackenzie Gore. I traded him away for Trevor Rogers and Brandon Lowe. Great trade. Yeah, in the moment it did. But anyway, Mackenzie Gore is killing it. Thank you, Mike Clevenger, for bringing him out of the bullpen. So anybody who actually still owns him and didn't trade him away like me, you know, you're really feeling good, or a person that got him. But He's killing it. He's been killing it. The only reason he was even worth trading is because of the fact he had a high value, and then the day after he gets sent to the bullpen. That's not to say this won't happen again. That's not to say if they won't, kill his for his what do you call it, his innings. But at the same time, you know what? For the short term, you kind of got to pick him up. He's only 60% owned, which I mean is a little bit on the higher end, but I mean he's definitely worth mention at this point because that's a 6% bump. So he was under 60% at this point, but shoot, his last start, he had 10 Ks, got the W, had a 1 ERA and a .89 WHIP, killing it.
Yeah, I mean, Mackenzie Gore is he's there's a reason why everybody knows who he is, high-end pitching prospect. He's showing out this year. On the year, he's got a 2.06 ERA, a 1.14 WHIP, 35 innings, 38 Ks, and he's got 3 wins. He's got the Pirates coming up on May 29th. So, I mean, guys, you got to go out there and get him. He should be way higher than 60% owned. I know a lot of people probably dropped him with the news when he was headed to the bullpen. And, I mean, I can understand it. I can get why, I probably would have dropped him myself if I was in a shallower league and I was trying to make moves and just, keep up with the Joneses. But, I mean, if you held him, you're looking like a genius right now because, Clevenger's down and I don't know what the future holds for him as far as an innings limit goes. I don't think the Padres have come out there and said what it's going to be. He's got 35 on the year so far, as I said. So maybe he gets, maybe he has another 100 innings left in him, maybe not. But those are going to start getting spread out. Those 6-inning starts are going to start going down to 4. And, maybe there's a phantom IL stint for him at some point as well. So we'll see there,
Yeah.
All right, my brother. Let's keep it rolling here with somebody who I was actually able to pick up in a couple leagues here where he was dropped. That's Hunter Green. I know we've talked about him a couple times here on the podcast, but you know what? Things have been looking around for him recently. His last 3 starts, I believe he has given up 2 earned runs or less. Big strikeout numbers in all those starts, and it looks like things are turning around for him. I think he's using that slider a little bit more. It looks like. So I think he's got some good upside going forward here. He got the Cubs this week on May 26th. That last start exactly was against at Toronto. He threw 6 innings, 6 Ks, 1.50 ERA with a 1 WHIP. The one before that was at Pittsburgh, 9 Ks. I believe that was the one where he had the no-hit bid going. And, the one before that was good too. At Milwaukee, a 5.1 inning, 6 Ks, 3.38 ERA, 1.50 WHIP. Things are starting to look up for him. 41% rostered in Yahoo. I think you go out there and you snag him right now and you see how that Chicago start goes. And if it goes good, just keep it going here with Hunter Green.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he's finally found his rhythm. You know what? He's had a bunch of nice matchups. I mean, the Toronto one is a little bit more of the proving of, hey, he's actually doing this, and then for him to keep following it up, I think you know what, he's got it. So it's impressive, definitely worth the ad. Did we say how much he was owned?
I believe I did, but I will check it again.
I got it right here.
It's
41% owned.
41, yeah, 41%.
So I mean, it's an atrocity if he's not owned. Hop on it, get on it, and do better at fantasy baseball. But sorry to be so rude. But I guess let's move on to our next guy here. Somebody I scooped up this morning, and that's Justin Steele.
I think it's Steele. I think it's Steele.
All right. Well, I'm going to be fancy with it.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe he's French. I think I heard Steele. I'm not 100% sure.
It's probably Steele. I just can't read. But I'm going to go pinky up and go Steele. But this kid, it's funny. You haven't really heard too much about him, but he's kind of killing it on the low key. So he's pitched about 33 innings, and this is his total season. And he has 1 win, which I mean he's on the Cubs, so what it is, what it is. But he has 38 Ks, a 3.82 ERA, and a 1.42 WHIP, which is high. But it's been coming down. It's been looking like he's been killing it. So the last month he had 28 Ks, 3.43 ERA with a 1.38. Last 2 weeks, let's go. 11 innings pitched, 19 Ks with a 0.82 ERA with a 0.73 WHIP. I see a trend, and it's looking like it's trending in the right direction. And I really don't know too much about this kid outside of what I found out this morning, and that's that he's killing it. And he's at least worth the stream, and let's, ride the wave. And if he keeps in this trajectory, he could be a nice little fantasy pickup for your pitchers, and maybe somebody that could be at least get you a month of good production.
Yeah, I'll go out there and say this. I'm not super familiar with the kid. He's 26 years old. So,
10% owned, by the way.
Yeah, still fairly young, 10% owned on Yahoo. Those last two starts look absolutely, fantastic. They were both came against the Arizona Diamondbacks, which not the best team out there, but he does get, the Cincinnati Reds this week, May 26th, which is a team that is also not very good. So I could see him keep it rolling here and possibly another, big strikeout game. And maybe he keeps it rolling here. Once again, I'm not super familiar with the kid myself either. I'm looking at the minor league track record. It doesn't look horrible, doesn't look fantastic, but maybe he's found something here. Maybe I'm not sure. I have to look more into what kind of pitches he's throwing and what kind of pitcher he is. But hey, you know what? You could totally do worse against the Cincinnati Reds here. So
Amen to
we'll
that.
keep it pushing here. Yeah, definitely. They've been horrible so far. Keep pushing here though. Go with another New York Yankee. We feel like we've been talking about the Yankees here a lot on this episode, but man, this kid's been pretty good, and he doesn't get as much love as he deserves, and that's Jordan Montgomery. The Yankees starting pitching staff has been pretty good this year, and don't forget, he's learning from Garrett Cole and Luis Severino. But Jordan Montgomery on the year, 40 innings pitched, 32 Ks, a 3.35 ERA, and a 1.12 WHIP. So I mean, he's been pretty good this year. He's getting the start against the Baltimore Orioles on May 24th. So I think he's definitely you could go out there and stream this week. 53% on Yahoo, by the way. So I think definitely worth an ad this week. Jordan Montgomery of the New York Yankees.
Oh yeah, that kid's been low key good too. I mean, shoot, let's go. I mean, he's just
It's a
somebody.
shame he doesn't have a win, by the way. I just have to throw that out there. It's a shame the Yankees don't score any runs for him.
It's just luck of the draw, unfortunately. But I mean, hey, he's worth the stream this week. Let's see if he can keep it going. But
Yeah, definitely.
Dom, you want to take this last guy, last pitcher?
Yeah, definitely. I sure do. We're going to talk about Johnny Cueto here. Old man, old man Johnny Cueto, still somehow managing to come out here and fool pitchers. I mean, fool batters with his crazy pitching antics. He actually hasn't given up a run yet. 12 innings, 12 Ks. He's got that one whip, 17% owned on Yahoo. Gets the Cubs this week. Definitely worth the stream, I'd say. Guy's been around forever. I got to see how old he is now, to be honest with you.
87 bajillion.
Yeah, right. He's getting up there, man. I remember when he used to play with the Reds. He was one of my favorite guys to own in fantasy and back in the day. But he's definitely worth the stream this week, guys. Go out there and hey, you can pick him up if you. A lot of the other guys we weren't talked about, are available. He's 36 years old, by the way.
Whew, man. All right, let's get the retirement home package ready for him. You
Oh
know.
yes, sir.
But anyway, I mean, I think he's a strong ad for at least a week. He's definitely not your long term solution, but you know what? Let's roll with it, ride the wave. And I mean, shoot, numbers look great. So way to go. Maybe he's got some PEDs floating around because he hasn't pitched like that in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't I really I don't know where it's coming from, man, because he hasn't really been good for a while, but
A little needle in the booty always helps.
yeah, I think so. But we'll keep it pushing here, guys. It's about all the pictures we really had here for you. But we are going to get into some closers here. Once again, sorry for the New York Yankees love today, guys, but we got to do it, especially but there's a reason why they're the best team in baseball. So we gotta keep talking about him here. Looks like Clay Holmes is taking that job from Aroldis Chapman, as we mentioned earlier. Chapman's dealing with that. I believe we said what it meant was that Achilles injury he's got going on there, right?
Yeah, and that means he's pretty much
Yeah.
done for life.
Yeah, so I'll say this. I know Clay Holmes is getting up there in ownership percentage. He's 66% owned on Yahoo. But if he is out there, I'd say you need to go out there and get him right now. I'm actually sad I wasn't able to get him in any of my leagues. He's 21.2 innings pitched, 4 wins, 4 saves, 21 Ks, and 0.42 ERA and 0.69 WHIP. So I mean, the guy's just been absolutely fantastic so far this year. I think he could possibly be somebody the Yankees roll with for the rest of the season. He had a great year last year too. I'll be honest with you. One of my dad's favorite players. He actually called the last year when the Yankees got him. He said there's something about the kid's mechanics that he liked, and I didn't see it, but my dad did, and boy was he right, because he's been a gem for the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be good. I thank God, because honestly, this is just me, but I don't think Aroldis Chapman's been Aroldis Chapman since like 2 years ago. So
Yeah, I agree with that.
So to be completely honest, all it really was for namesake and the fact that he was just going to get the opportunity on the Yankees. Now that he's gone, I actually kind of feel a little bit more comfortable having Holmes there than drafting than having Chapman. So if you were sneaky enough to scoop him out from under the Chapman owner, good for you. If you're the
Yeah.
Chapman owner that scooped him up, really good for you, because then you're not missing a beat. But hey, all overall good ad. I think we should just move on to another guy I
Matt,
cannot
let me throw
pronounce his
one
name.
thing. Let me just throw
Yeah,
one thing out there real quick, if you don't mind. I do
sure.
want to say this about the Yankee situation. Michael King, if you didn't get Clay
Mm,
Holmes, Michael King is also, I mean, he's 50% owned in Yahoo, but he's pitched 26.2 innings this year. He's got 2 wins, he's got 1 save, 38 strikeouts in 26.2 innings, a 2.03 ERA and 0.94 WHIP. So if you're in a saves plus holds league, or if you're in a league that counts holds, I would just keep an eye on Michael King here as well, because he could possibly be in the mix as well. I think Clay Holmes definitely gets the first couple shots here, but I think Michael King could possibly be in the mix as well. So once again, saves plus hold leagues, holds leagues definitely, and I just definitely throw him on the watch list in probably almost every league at this point.
The only thing I'll say about King is King had a shot at the rotation and kind of took a dump. So I don't know how
Yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think he's going to have a long leash, let alone even be trusted in those kind of situations. I think he's kind of they found his
No,
spot
but
in the
he's
middle
been
of the league.
good. He,
Oh, he's
he's
been great.
he's pretty good, man. Yeah.
He's
No,
been great.
he's
But
got a lot of holes.
a high pressure situation is kind of where it's at, and I don't think he's going to be the guy for that. But that's just me. I guess we'll find
Yeah,
out. But let's
we will.
move on to another guy. I cannot pronounce his name. Can you just pronounce it for me,
Oh,
please?
yeah. Okay. So yeah, this one's gonna get a little tricky. That's JP Fire Ison of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Fire icing. I love it, man. It's like it's almost like a I don't know, like an avatar or
Game
something.
of Thrones, like
Yeah,
some Game of Thrones type
yeah.
thing there.
House of Fire icing. Oh,
Yes. That should be a great team name, to be honest. That'd be a great fantasy team name.
that would be. But all right, let's talk about the guy real quick. So with what's his face going down, the
Andrew
closer.
Kittredge.
Yeah, with Andrew Kittredge, he's a guy I guess we're taking a shot in the dark that's probably going to take over the job. There's no really
Yeah, it's gonna get sticky there
yeah.
though.
I mean, it's most likely the path I could see happening. He's been
He's been
great.
fantastic.
Like he hasn't given up a run yet. He's got 3 wins some way, shape, or form, which means he's been in high leverage positions to finish off the game. So that's another little like bonus for hey, if he's actually the guy getting the reps and confident in the pickup. Two, it's also another say, hey, they're probably going to give him that opportunity to get that 9th inning. And three, hey, he's going to freaking do wonders for you if that's him. So I think it's worth at least an ad. If he doesn't get the job by the end of the week, by the next 2 days, drop him. But he's at least worth it.
Yeah, it's me. You know what? This morning when I woke up, I was trying to, look at the Rays, bullpen there and see who, is just the best reliever there, right? And that's definitely JP Fire Ison. On the year, hold on, I had his numbers there. Let me just pull them back up
I
for you.
love that name.
JP Fire Ison on the year, 20 innings, 20 strikeouts, 3 wins, no runs, 0.45 ERAs, 25% owned on Yahoo. I could see them giving him the high leverage situations, but see, sometimes the highest leverage situation isn't always the save. Sometimes in the 8th inning, you got the, 2, 3, 4 coming up, or 3, 4, 5 coming up. And that's where, sometimes the Rays like to use their guys. And showing that he doesn't have a save yet is a little bit, like shaky in my head. So I do want to throw out another name here, and that's Brooks Raley of the Tampa Bay Rays as well. 16% owned on Yahoo. He actually has 3 saves in 12 innings, 14 Ks, 2.25 ERA, and 0.83 WHIP, and 1 win as well. So see, now he does actually have 3 saves. So maybe I could see JP Fire Icing being the guy that pitches like 2 innings. Maybe he pitches the 7th and 8th, and then they go to Brooks Raley. So I'm not 100% sure here, what they do. But I mean, you could go either way. So I might wait and see who gets the first save myself. But at that point, it might be too late in some leagues. So we gave you both the names here. So if you're brave enough to go out and speculate on one of them, be my guest. We're just here to provide you guys the information. And at the end of the day, you can do what you feel is best there, because both of those guys have been outstanding so far in the year, and I think they both definitely have a shot at getting saves here. So our last two that we're going to recommend are another two guys that are in a committee here already, but it's kind of already established here, so I can give you a little bit more of advice here on this one. That's the Minnesota Twins situation. We're talking about Emilio Pagan and Johan Duran. That actually sounds like a band, right? That sounds like they're about to start a band together, the
Yeah.
two of them. Pagan and Duran.
Yeah. Duran.
So Emilio actually has been getting yeah, right. That's what I was trying to get at there. So Emilio actually has been getting more of the saves recently. He's got one on the 20th and he's got one on the 15th, but the most recent one has gone to Duran. That was on the 22nd. On the season so far, Pagan has 6 saves, 12 innings, 16 Ks, 2.13 ERA with a 1.58 WHIP, which is a little high, but I think he's been a little bit better recently. 39% owned on Yahoo. So as far as Duran, I'm going to pull up his numbers here real quick for you guys. He is 40% owned on Yahoo, so he's a little bit more owned. His numbers are better. That's a 2.66 ERA for Duran, 0.74 WHIP, 31 Ks, 20 innings, 3 saves. He is the younger one with less experience, but he is got the better stuff, and the numbers look way better. So I mean, it's kind of tough here to say. You know, I mean, Duran's got the most recent one, so I mean, probably go out there and pick him up if you really want to get the better numbers and get yourself more saves. But I think the bulk are going to go to Pagan. I think it's maybe like a 60-40 split, Pagan 60, Duran 40 going forward until we get a little bit more clarity. Maybe one of them gets hurt or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, you're pretty much hoping that the other guy you don't own got hurt. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a knock on wood here, but you never wish the ill on another person. But I mean, for fantasy purposes, you would like that, or at least some more clarity, or at least somebody to go and have a bad couple of starts and have a bunch of blown saves so that their leash gets cut and the other one kind of rolls with it. It's a terrible thing, and I'm not going to say, hey, go out and acquire the other one, or if they're available, pick up both, because you're just wasting a roster spot because you'll get one whole closer for the price of 2. So. I mean, at this point, you just got to deal with the aches and pains. But if you're like Dom over here, who's looking for a closer,
Oh boy, am I.
So, I mean, you could be in a position where you may need to at least deal with it. At least they're getting 2 a week, getting the opportunity. Might as well just kind of roll with it. And it's somewhat healthy. You'll at least get 1 or 2 if you're lucky. And that's the least you're not dead in the water.
Yeah, guys, I'll say this. I mean, with closers, it's always it's always a tough situation. You kind of just got to be on top of that type of thing, and that's why we're here providing you a couple names. I think we gave you about 6 names there between Holmes, King, Pagan, Duran, and who the other 2 we threw out there, Fire Ison and Brooks Raley. Yeah, that is a dope name. Somebody's got to go out there. And guys, if you send us a screenshot of your team name as a House of Fire and Ison, we'll definitely give you a shout out on the podcast. That's just an awesome team name there. But on that note, guys, that's about it for us today on the Fantasy MDs podcast. We appreciate all the fans and everybody, showing us all the love in our first year here. We really do. This is something that Matt and I love doing. We've been talking about it for a long time. We've finally been out here doing it, and we appreciate all of you. So if there's anyone out there, listening for the first time, and you like what you hear, or anyone that hasn't yet, guys, go out there and please give us a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. It goes a long way, and especially if you could take a couple seconds to write a couple words in a review there, it moves us up in the rankings, gets us a little bit more out there. And if you like what you hear, we'll be out there more. We'll be doing this a lot more. It means a lot. So until Wednesday, guys, we'll see you then.
Peace.